Hello YouTube, this is Morgan Airspeed Prime here with my next Avatar video. This one's going to be all about Avatar Generation. So as you can see here, I have some gameplay here because I was given early access to this game. So this is going to be some gameplay and commentary, giving you my sort of like initial impressions on the game. Having so far put about maybe like 3-4 hours into it so far, I want to try and show off sort of as much as like what you can do in the game as possible, just to give you a sense for like what you actually spend your time in this game doing. So obviously where we are right now is that the game is currently in sort of like pre-registration, where it's going to be out in a couple of weeks, and if you pre-register there'll be more kind of rewards when the game does finally launch. So definitely pre-register online at the website, Avatar Generation's official website, and then the Google Play Store also has direct pre-registration. But anyway, here as you can see is the kind of main menu of the game. Once you actually click the start and you get logged in and you're done with all like the initial tutorial stuff, this is your main menu. So you can see you have your kind of like account name. There's a mission that you can do up in the corner, which is basically just sort of like achievements. If we just quickly take a look at that, like the next one is called Time for T5, clear Pirate Domain Stage 1, and I'll get 20 nature stones for doing that. And if I press go, it'll direct me directly to where that is. And I can do that, like that's a relatively easy one to do. Actually, I'll do that pretty quickly just to give you a sense for like what's going on here. So you go there, and as you can see here, this is going to be a battle against pirates where I'll get some gold and some XP. Recommended power is 50,000, 50k. So if we just do battle, you can see here is my team: Aang, Katara, Zuko, and Sokka, with a support animal, which is the owl wolf. And you can see here there's some challenges associated with this as well as restrictions, but yeah, there's no restrictions on these ones. So I'll get more if I survive with one ally, survive with 2 allies, and complete it in 8 or fewer turns. It costs 5 stamina to do this battle, but that's fine because as you can see up top we have 233. So we'll just do this battle just to give you a sense for straight away what the battling is like. So this is not associated with the campaign or something like that. The pirate battles, specifically these ones, are specifically there to sort of grind out gold. So you keep doing them at higher levels and you get more and more gold. So far I haven't run into sort of running out of gold, but I'm probably not far enough into the game to where that's really a problem. So you can see here they start off the battle there. You can see the turn order on the side here gives you shows off kind of like the order of things a little bit, and the clock also tells you just all the status effects, the exact stats if you want to look at them. But the idea here, as you can see here, is that Aang has the current turn. Next we'll go to the one of the opponents, then Zuko will go, then Sokka will go, Katara will go roughly towards the end of the turn order because she's not as quick, especially this Katara is not as quick as other characters. So from there you just need to look at basically what your character has, which is the bottom right stuff. So you can see here this is the ability of Aang, which is that when his health falls below 30, Avatar State activates and he has more powerful abilities. He has a basic attack, which is the Staff Slam, and a more powerful attack that's on cooldown for 3 turns called Air Blast. In this case we'll use Air Blast, which hits all enemies. And you can see it does decent amount of damage depending on the specific type of enemy. So there's that. And you can see, you get a sense for what you're effective against or not effective against with the little arrows over the top of the enemy health bar. Red means your attack, this specific character isn't going to be like super effective. It's not very effective. The green means sort of like it will be super effective, and the white means sort of neutral. So sometimes you're forced into situations where you have to attack people based on abilities, but for the most part you can just target people. So Zuko specifically, you can see here, has unyielding determination, which kind of when he falls below health, it means he can survive basically dying once, and he does this kind of cool attack right as he nearly loses. So we'll use his basic attack here, which does a decent amount of damage but then boosts his attack higher. Sokka, you can see here, also has different abilities. I don't want to go too in depth on specific abilities of every single character, But you can see like Sokka as a melee fighter has kind of different like boomerang attacks, where this one's more precision damage, and then this one has a cool kind of like ricochet effect where it theoretically can hit 2 characters. So you can see there we actually did damage to both, which is very kind of thematic. So that's the first round of this battle. This is a 2-stage battle. This is the final sort of screen of enemies that we'll face, who are just these random Earth Kingdom pirates. So you can see they'll take the first move, and then it's yeah, there we go. Oh no, it's 2 of theirs are going to go first, and then Aang will go. So I guess I'll show off combo at this point. You can see in the other corner it says combo. Now my meter is filled 1 block, meaning I can do sort of a 1 kind of link combo. Now I can actually switch around who I do it with. So I'm currently controlling Aang, but right now Katara is the first in chain. So if I press combo, I'll do a combo attack where Aang attacks and then Katara attacks. But I can actually swap that around here. I can put Zuko next or Sokka next, depending on what I want to do. And the basic idea is you can set up moves where, like, for instance, a really basic one is that Zuko's basic attack increases his attack, but then when he's used in combo attacks, that buff still applies to the damage that he does. But for now, I'll just leave it with Katara, and we'll show an example of this in action here, where we'll just attack this person with the combo attack.
Come on, we got this.
So we do Staff Slam, basic attack, and then Katara goes. But it doesn't really change Katara's position in the turn order. It just allows for like another attack.
Gotcha.
So yeah, we'll just use Sokka's normal attack here. So you can see the animations are relatively okay. The graphics are actually, like, I think pretty decent. Katara is more of a healer character, so if we use her advanced ability, we enter defensive stance and we heal a bit. And she'll get targeted now quite a bit, as this is a defensive Katara. And then we'll use Zuko's Banished Prince attack, which is very high damage. And you can see they're going to focus on Katara, because she kind of taunted them more or less. So I'm gone over 8 turns here, but that's fine. We'll use the staff attack here. And basically you charge the combo meter by just doing other attacks that aren't combos. And the more you do that, the more you charge, the higher level combo you can do. To the point where, like, when you have more bars, you can do a combo where it's 3 characters. If you have like 4 bars, you can do your whole team attacks in a row. And then 5 bars, it lets you do a kind of like special ultimate attack. Is basically how it goes. So, for instance here, we will do this. So Katara is in her kind of defensive stance mode. So if I do Sokka using 2 bars of combo, it'll be Sokka attacks, then Katara attacks, and then I think that's it. Is it just 2? Yeah, just 2. And this should end it. Freeze splash. So there's the battle ended. Now that wasn't a particularly complicated battle because we had quite a big power advantage. So far I think there is a reasonable amount of tactics in the game. I don't think it feels as tactical as your typical sort of console RPG for sure. In that, even though there's a lot going on, like there's a lot of different type matchup things, buffs and debuffs happening on screen, it's fundamentally a simple game to play because fundamentally on every turn, your choice about what to do is effectively your basic attack, your advanced attack, or a combo of whatever length you want depending on what you have. They're all the choices that you have, so it seems somewhat complicated, but it's more or less, only a couple of choices that you really have. But anyway, that's that. Now, I can press next to go on to stage 2, which I'll just show you that. If I press next, I'll go into stage 2 of the kind of pirate battling here to get more gold. And obviously the idea here is that the power level goes up. So 7,649 is my team against now 65,000. So we still should have the advantage here, and it will be a tougher battle. I'm not going to do it here just because I don't really want to do a battle where I'm just really getting gold. But we completed the mission. So we claim this and we get some nature stones. and then immediately the next one comes up. So this one is Adventure in Exploration Areas. Use multiple teams to complete adventures in the South Pole and Patola mountain ranges. So if we press go, it brings us onto the adventure map, which is basically just when we press adventure here down in the corner, it brings us onto the map, which is basically your campaign through the story. So far in the game, it's only like ATLA, and specifically early ATLA is where I'm at. And I'll just give you a sense for what we're doing here. So on the South Sea is where we've progressed the Zuko's story. So Zuko's just about to sort of like head over here. The basic idea seems to be that we're like just about to kind of have the Southern Air Temple episode sort of happen. And then we're going to go into like Warriors of Kyoshi style things. We're pretty close to that. But before that, we have to do this. So I have to unlock the Southern Air Temple. But interestingly, I got to this point where instead of just going straight to the Southern Air Temple, they told me to go like backwards and redo the stuff in the mountain passage again at like a higher level. But there was suddenly like time restrictions on like it takes 5 minutes to travel to this location. It was a little bit weird. I didn't expect the game to have that stuff. Now 5 minutes, waiting 5 minutes to do the next thing is a bit frustrating. But because you can earn all other materials while you're doing that, because it happens in the background, and you can obviously send out different teams of characters, it kind of makes it not as like restrictive as you'd like necessarily think. But anyway, if we go to the mountain passage here, which is what we're doing with that kind of Team Avatar, I'm just about to do the main boss battle here on the mountain passage again. So this is a new area, this mountain passage, in the Patola mountain range, and there are different characters here. I wouldn't say it's anything super significant, just the idea that there is a settlement of people in the kind of Patola mountains near the temple, but not like right there. I think that you've seen this before from like the beta tests and stuff like that, but that's what it is. So the recommended power here is 65,000. I think my team is currently like 70,000 if I remember correctly. Yeah, 71,000, and they're saying it should be easy, especially because it's against like one person. So we'll do the battle here. This is against the boss, and this is the master here at this dojo. And there's a little bit of a story to it, that there's like 3 different kind of like groups of students who like lean in different ways. Like one's a more offensive team, one's a more defensive team. It's pretty much just to have more battles before you just like basically blitz through the episodes. And you can see here, utilizes all the jings when they fight, not just the common 3. So there's some cool like little bits and pieces in here. But we see he is gonna attack and do a decent amount of damage there. So we'll just start off with a normal attack. And it is a boss, so we're expecting it to take a little bit here. We'll do another normal attack here. So you can see here early on, like there's not a lot of kind of like particularly selective stuff you can do. In this case, because it is a somewhat close power level boss fight, I'm actually going to use Katara's advanced ability here, defensive stance, to start the kind of healing straight away, just in case. So that'll heal Sokka up a little bit. And then we can go to Toph. So with her, I'll use the big attack to try and get some kind of status effects going. And you can see defense down and stuff like that. He'll target Katara here, but because she's in defensive stance, it won't be as much damage. Then we can sort of... I'll save up my combo bar a little bit more, so I'll just do normal attacks again. I'll go again with just the normal attack.
Let me heal.
Same here.
You can't knock me down.
See, there's a bit of voice acting. Some of it's good, some of it doesn't feel like amazing. They clearly don't have the like official voice actors here, but you know, it's okay. I think this is very much a game where you're not going to be focusing, I think, too much on like the audio. They play some like Avatar music throughout it. It is pretty nice, definitely, but you know, it's not like crazy amazing. So I'll actually, yeah, while we're still comfortable here, I'll just continue to normal attack to build up to the kind of 5-star attack. just to show you what it's like in case we don't get a chance in the rest of the video. So now you can see here we have the full combo bar maxed out, and now a new symbol has appeared. So we're doing it as Katara, and it's going to say here, Water Special Air Ultimate, based on the fact that Katara's first, then Aang is air, and then Sokka is special. Now we can switch that around if we want, but Sokka has a bit of a bonus, so we'll put him second, and then I'll actually put Toph in here, which will change the attack to Water Earth Special Ultimate. Special is basically non-bender. So if we attack, you can see here you get a bit of a cutscene here. Different animations here as they show off, you know, water, earth, and then the purple kind of non-bender style stuff as the big attack hits. And you can see the debuffs really came in strong there. Like there is, if I just actually look at this on the enemy here, you can see here status effects, water element, so reduced special speed by 20, defense by 10%. Defense by 10% for Earth and blocks buffs from being granted, and then the special one is blocks healing and also defense minus 10. So it just means those type of attacks will do more damage, and each has like their own specific kind of debuff against the boss. So I'll use my big attack here.
Gotcha.
I'll combo here with Aang. And now another way you can do combo is if you hold it down, you can actually use your combo, but with your like advanced attack, to do a bit more damage overall.
Let's begin. Hey, no fear.
And now you can see he has the debuff against all of the conditions. So the air one is lowers attack by 20, which is actually really, really good. Chance of a weak hit increased by 10, and the defenses boost thing is there as well. So yeah, we'll do a normal attack here. And look, we got the frozen effect there as well, which, you know, again, that's another debuff against the boss, which is become incapacitated, and then a lot of different stuff, critical hits basically go up. So we'll do attack here with Toph. We get the critical hit. And then we can combo here. So I'll do Toph and Aang combo.
Come on, we got this.
Which is just them attacking in sequence. Which nearly wins the fight. This should do it, I think. Yeah, there we go. So you can see there is a boss that was somewhat close to our power level that we managed to defeat using sort of the best tactics I'd say you probably could use for the group that we have. And then we get our items that we won. And now we'll see kind of the progress, some progress in the story here. So we just press the tick, and we get more rewards. So you can see here, these are the things that add experience to your art scrolls. I'll show that in a second. Like the amount of materials in this game is pretty crazy. 100 nature stones, which brings us over 1,000 again. We get some gold and some XP. And you can see here, Xin Ming is the kind of main character here. Okay, so there's actually another battle happening here, is there? Okay, so this is actually completely new. So it's not full like repetition of this area, but they are doing a little bit more. So okay, so now we're just trying to head here, so I can fast travel down here, and then I can do this battle. So what's this against? 60k, because this isn't a boss, so it's just a more normal battle, and we get more rewards. I think I can move on to the Southern Air Temple in just a second, but I'll just do this battle while we're here. So you can see here we're going up against different students who have, you know, they have some different designs here, but most of the time it's like kind of Earth Kingdom, kind of martial arts kind of style characters here. And we get Book of Life Offensive Art. So, you know, I'm definitely at the point in the game where I feel like I need a lot of these extra like things to add on to my characters. because some things that I do, I feel like my character should be a little bit more powered, and that like I should have like more of these items. Other times I feel a little bit like overpowered. But you get a sense for like, you know, what the power levels actually mean and stuff like that. But anyway, Ji Sheng, Tao student, and they apparently have a new formation.
Well, what do we have here?
All in a day's work for
So
the
we'll actually
Avatar.
start off against 4 enemies with the AoE attack from Aang, just to do damage to everyone.
You're gonna get it. Gotcha.
And then I will target him, use Sokka's attack to hit 2 enemies as well. Okay, they buffed their attack.
Here to help.
And Katara, I guess I'll put her in the defensive stance just to get the healing going.
Well, what do we have here?
So you can see there are some tactics here. It's more than quite a few of these games that I am familiar with. But obviously it's not the most in-depth RPG I think I've ever played, of course. But you know, I think it's pretty fun. And I think when you get to like the higher level characters and stuff like that, there can be some fun to it. Obviously to some extent, you do just get through the game by like upgrading and like just putting time in, or by putting money in to get all those items.
Show them a thing or two.
And you can obviously beat tough battles just by basically making your numbers go up with the amount of items, which I will show when I get to the menus about like all the way upgrades and
I've got
stuff like that work.
Don't underestimate. Is that all you lily livers got? This will be easy.
So you can see, like, it is a somewhat simple battle system in that, like, you don't have like a defense like option for like your characters just to protect them. So you know they're not trying to be like really in depth kind of here with this, but
All in a
you know
day's work
there's
for
a
the
quite a
Avatar.
few stats which I think is quite good. So I'll do a combo here, I guess. I have to focus on this. So
Come on.
yeah, we'll just do a triple combo here.
Attack! Gotcha! It's Sokka time!
Let me heal you.
Okay, we'll do targeting this person.
I'm with you.
Back off! Gross.
Is that all you lily livers got?
Not a chance.
Is that all you got?
Bring it on. I'll crush you.
Okay, let's see if there's anything we can do after these attacks come in.
Ready to see some skills? Stunning whack-a-pow!
Okay, so if we attack this person and we'll use the
Whack-a-pow!
boomerang attack, it's off cooldown.
Let's do this together.
And then yeah, we can should do this again using the AoE
let's
attack.
do this.
Back off!
And I think that's it. Yeah.
We made it.
And that gets us victory there. And some of the stuff like that, like the loading screens, have some nice art for sure. Okay, that's that. And then the idea is we have a battle over here, a battle over here, and a battle over here. And yeah, so it seems still like there's a decent amount to still do here. But the idea was that they wanted me to build up 100 of these adventure points to unlock the Southern Air Temple, which you can see I can actually choose to do now if I want. which I will do in just a second, but I do want to show off like just some of the other menu stuff first. So yeah, if we go into the hero menu, so I can show you the characters that I have.
If
Now,
you want to be a bender,
quite a few of
you
these
have
are
to,
ones that you are given just to be able to play the game through the story. So like that's where this Aang, Katara,
Sokka told me a bad joke.
Zuko, Toph come from, and this Sokka. But I have done a few summons, and so I have like Agni Kai Zhao, I have Tyro, I have a Fire Nation masked soldier, and I have this Invader Zuko as well. So I have a reasonable number of characters here. Actually, didn't want to go completely out of that.
Let's go.
But just to show you how the leveling up stuff works. So you can see over here, Aang is level 17 out of 20. So if we press that up arrow, we can upgrade him. And basically what this is doing is you're using these XP scrolls to basically, you know, upgrade his level. And you can see like it gradually gets, you need more and more of them to raise his level. And we're trying to max out his level at like 20. So I'll just put a couple into Aang here. Because I don't think I have enough to fully get him to 20. But the idea is that once you get to 20, you can then ascend the character so that their level limit increases. And then eventually that will increase their star level as well. Which is why you can see in all these characters that it's like 4 out of 6 stars. So Toph, you can see here, I have as max 10 out of 10. So hers now reads ascend instead of upgrade. So if we press that, you can see what's going to happen here. She's going to go from max level 10 to max level 20. Now she'll still be level 10, but we can now increase her level from 10 to 20. Her star rating with just this ascension is going to remain at 4, but you can see her stats are going to go way up, but we need to use these items here: Ascension Candle, Ascension Beads, and Essential Element Earth. The main specific one here being the Earth for an Earth character, but again, you can do specific battles to grind out like Earth, Fire, Water, Special, and so on. So I'll actually just do this here. I'll ascend Toph, and you can see that's what happens here. The next ascension will make her go up to 30, but we'll also keep her at level 4. And then eventually you get to the idea of like, she will eventually go up to 5-star. I'm assuming, okay, I'll go up to the next one, but then probably the next one after that will make her 5-star. So you can see that there's a bit of a grind here. Like, I think this seems a little bit like longer upgrade path than other games. But we'll see how exactly that works out, because you can see she's on the second one, and then there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more to go. But there's only like 2 star ranks to go up. So you can get a sense for it. And now, of course, she's 10 out of 20, and again we can use the scrolls to give her experience if we want. The other thing here is basically the other stuff here. So you have like skill level here, which are get these kind of points, which are you can earn for certain characters. Like I think I have some on Zuko. So yeah, I think the Zuko here, yeah, you can see here, skill level 2 out of 6. And then every time you get like a repeat from the summoning of this character, you basically get one of these items that you can put into their skills to make them do more damage here. So you can see this costs a skill coin and 5k gold, and the power of his abilities will go up. And that's what you're doing in a lot of cases with this, is you can see here, level 3, if we go up again, it'll be even more damage on these attacks. This will go up to 20 plus 20 damage, and so on. And that's what you're doing like across the board. You're raising the character's level, you're raising their skill level, you're raising their star level, and you're doing the same effectively for all this stuff as well. Like Aang's companion here, the pet, is a lemur. And you can also upgrade this lemur, who obviously increases his stats a certain amount, upgrade, and then the animals have their own, like, you know, upgrade kind of like system. So if I feed it just one moon peach, you can see here, for 30,000, it raises its level to like level 8, and the stats kind of go up like quite a bit here. on this lemur. I think it actually went up some star ratings there, I think. So that's this slot, the companion slot. But then you also have the relic slot here, which is like a piece of equipment. So my aunt currently has this Shrine of Gyatso, which again increases stats. It has like an equip requirement here for it to be from the Air Nation. And then the ability is like a 35% chance to gain skill nullifier when the caster receives a critical hit. And again, this can be upgraded using these materials and so on to make this kind of do more. But you can see in this case, these upgrades are going to cost like a lot of gold in this case. So we get rid of that. That will cost more money than I actually have. See, look at that one to raise it like even more. So I don't even know half of like what some of these items I have actually are. I think this is actually putting lower level items into this item to level it up, but I'm not sure how well the game so far has explained relic upgrading to me. And then you also have this, which is this group of like scrolls, basically, like one for like a bunch of different kind of items here. That's kind of weird. Just like you have, what is it, offensive arts, vital arts, critical arts. Like you just have these different kind of sections, and like this is like a book, this is like a scroll, you have a mask here, you have kind of like an amulet, you have a map, and then a kind of feather, and they all have like a thing associated with them. Basically what this one is, like, it's defensive percentage set effect, and the idea is that you want to kind of pair these together in groups of like 2. So like it's surprisingly complicated. So my Aang currently has a, what's this, attack set effect, because I have 2 of these are like attack boosting items, and then 2 of them are defense boosting items. So that's why I get that bonus. I think the Katara has a reasonably good loadout here, where like she has defensive, like double HP set, and defensive up, which is pretty good. I don't know if it's like super good, but you get the idea here of like there's a lot going on, and you only have like a certain amount of material, so you can see the idea like that you're gonna spend a decent amount of time like grinding stuff, but you thankfully you are able to, for the most part, put the time in and like grind out nearly all the items that you actually need, because that's what this menu here, the activities menu, is for. Where you can see here, training grounds is where you can grind out experience scrolls, and there's a bunch of different levels. So obviously at the early levels you're only going to get a few basic scrolls, but at the higher level you're going to get like a lot of big scrolls, basically, and that's going to make upgrading your characters easier. I'm nowhere near 150,000 power, so I'm only, for right now, capable of doing the first 2 stages, with the idea being that you get a couple at stage 1 and a couple more at stage 2. Pirate's Domain is where you get gold if you need more gold, and then the element quests, you can see here, stage 1, there's water, earth, fire, air, and special, where you get the specific items for ascension for the specific character classes. And then you also have these arts expeditions, which is how you can earn some of these books and scrolls and masks and so on. And you get strength, survival, wisdom. So like you can grind out these, like as long as you have stamina, it seems like you can use these as much as you want to get the base materials. It does seem like there are just full-on rare materials in the game, but that's the way you do it. And then you have these achievements in like a bunch of different categories to claim stuff. So what's this? We do that, we get 30 more nature stones, which I suppose brings us on to summoning, which is going to use nature stones. There's 15 more. And then yeah, summons. So we go here. So right now the ones I have available to me are this one here. So we have Spirit's Call, we have the Four Nations banner, fire, Tales of the Four Nations, And then I think these are more just like standard ones where you use your specific like tickets to just get a guaranteed character. Which I don't think I have any of these as far as I'm aware anyway. Because I keep kind of thinking like, if I press this, use the 1 5-star ticket to summon 1 times, and I'm like, do I have this? Yes, okay, so it tells me I don't have enough. And I don't think I actually have any of this stuff at all. Do I have this? Oh, I actually have one of these, okay. So here's a summon. Now this is a animal character. So here's the cutscene that you get. New animation, which is kind of nice. A little bit of interaction there. I like the swamp as like he's searching out a thing. So I got the 4-star Fire Nation Komodo Rhino here. So that's pretty nice. It's a support animal, of course. Increases crit damage of Fire Nation faction heroes by 15% in battle. So that's okay. That's pretty good. If I could make that work kind of more regularly, that would be pretty nice. And you can see here the summoning mileage goes up, and you get an item at 200. But that's all that stuff. And then, I think I have a guaranteed relic summon ticket. So I'll use this. I'll actually just skip the cutscene here so we can see the item. We get the ice totem here. So that's pretty nice. A totem that represents the history and culture of the Northern Water Tribe. 35% chance to inflict water element on a random enemy for 1 turn at the start of your turn. That actually seems pretty good overall for just a Water Tribe character. So you can sort of see how, like, with the items included, there actually is quite a bit of strategy to a lot of what's going on here. So I'll try and do a normal summon here because I have 1,000 and I'm just kind of thinking, like, what do I want to use it on? In this case, Colonel Monkey seems to be the main one, but there's Zhao, Iroh, Komodo Rhino, Zuko. There's the Forgetful Valley Wolf spirit, which is kind of cool from the search. So there's some nice references even to the comics in all of this. Like if I just take a look at some of these characters. Like in this one here, there's Yue, Zhao, Tuyen Law. We have Sky Bison, Knowledge Seeker, Komodo Rhino, Platypus Bear, Koala, Otter, Caribou, different Sokkas, some different Zukos. Masks of Ursa. That's very cool. There's actually a little bit of lore. A set of masks from Hira, acting troupe, secretly stored by Fire Princess Ursa. Okay, so that's pretty nice. There's just like lore on some of this stuff. Oh, the Sacred Orb from the Great Divide. A very powerful relic used in the Gonjin's redemption ritual. Or a simple ball in the game, we'll never know. So, some pretty nice stuff there. Statue of Kiyoshi. 207 years before the start of the war, and so on. And you can see an idea, there's quite a few items here. Now, admittedly, when you do a summon, this was a bit of a surprise to me when I did a summon for the first time and I did the 10x summon. Typically, it's like 9 items and support animals and like 1 character. With items like the relic seemingly being most of what you get, which I guess makes sense to a certain degree. But it does mean like there's going to be like some sense of like, ooh, didn't quite get what I wanted there. But I think I'll go for this one. Just because you can get more of the kind of stronger characters. Like here's like Jang, Pirate Captain. And again, like new like official kind of more kind of show style art of Jang. That's pretty nice. There's the wolf again. And some other stuff. So I'll just do a draw 10 just to see what it's like. Use 1,000 nature stones for this. We'll watch the cutscene again. I think that's just really cool for the summon. Just the idea that Aang is connecting to like the random kind of thing you're about to get. Okay, so we get the ice totem again. Warpaint Sokka. Okay, so there's a different Sokka I don't have. Vines of the Banyan Grove. That's cool. I wonder what that does. Southern Night Lantern. Paku's Gift. 4 Nation Tiles. Embers of Courage. Air Bison Whistle. Assassin's Knife. And you can see here, there's also other stuff that we got. Like, for instance, we got Last Airbender Aang Mind Skill Coin. So we actually got one of those coins. That means we pulled Aang, but because we have him already, we just get the coin in place of him. But we did get a character there, which was quite good. Was that one of the... I don't think that's a featured character yet, because we didn't get a 5-star. So we pulled... Does it say the stats on that Sokka? 1%. Okay, so that was actually relatively rare, what we actually got there. And I can actually pull one more just by using the one ticket. I guess I'll just do that here, just because I only have 100 left. I'll just actually use it. Let's just skip to see what we got here. Well, Tooth Blade. So you can see there, we just got a random 3-star item. But, now we have items that we can use, which is good. Let's go to the events here. And again, some of this stuff, like, I'm not even attempting necessarily to do it. But you can see here we're getting items that are used in the thing overall. Let's see, shop. Events. Nothing going on here. Summons. And you can see this, like, there's stuff, like, in the shop, like, for items, like, without spending too much time on it, like, let me just actually go into the shop properly. So there's a kind of timer on some free gold. This is where it gets, like, to the idea that, like, it's when you do put money into it, I personally don't think it's amazing value for money, because if you look at what I just did there, I spent 1,100 nature stones and didn't really pull that much. That's like the equivalent of about, like, what? It's like 15 euro or something like that. Like, in that sense, like, this is where, like, I don't understand the monetization of these games, is that if you want people to spend money, why isn't there much better value than there is in this stuff? Like, would it really, like, ruin the game if for that amount of money you were given, like, say, 3 or 4 times the amount of nature stones, or the price of pulls was divided by that amount? I really don't get it, because, like, it's like 8,000 nature stones for 120 euro. So you get, like, 80 pulls. It just doesn't seem that great value. And it's the same for a lot of the other stuff that actually costs money. It just doesn't seem like there's a lot of value in there, like, at all. But, like, there's stuff you can save up for, like using the tickets and so on. You can get items, there's an exchange. And to some extent, like, I would say, like, it is a little overwhelming. The amount of items, and it's tutorialized to a certain degree, but, like, you need to know what you're doing with your items, or, like, you're not really doing kind of that much at all. That's kind of the way it feels like. So we just got some new stuff here. So we've got our Komodo Rhino, which we can put on one of our characters if we want to. But I don't want to spend too much time messing around in the menus. And this is the idea. Like, you are going to spend quite a bit of time organizing characters, and that, like, before you do the next batch of battles, you're going to spend quite a bit of time, like, leveling up. Oh, I need to ascend this character, but to ascend this character, I need to grind, like, let's say I want to upgrade, like, Aang again. I need to grind this air quest activity level 2 potentially to keep getting that multiples of 5. Then I can finally get back to doing what I want to do. But wait, I need to level them up. I need more experience. I'll go back and do this thing. And it just seems to go on and on. But one final thing we'll do in the video, like I said, is we're going to go to the Patola mountain range, and we're going to unlock, using these 100 things, the Southern Air Temple. So we're in, and we can go here, and this should progress the story here. So what are we doing here? So there's you can see there, Fire Nation, and the background here is kind of nice, I think, overall. There's Gyatso, there's the Sanctuary Door. So, like, just that background art here is very nice in my mind. So, okay, Nomad's Landing. We assign, and so we have to build our team here. So you can see here the requirements are that we need, like, Team Avatar at this point, and we can't have any Firebender characters. One other thing actually to note here about this is that the specific things here, it's not just for a line that way at random. The frontline position here, you see slot bonus. The character in this position has their damage taken reduced by 15. The character at the back line has these two things. So they cannot be targeted while there's someone in front of them, and they take 50% reduced damage from attacks that hit all enemies. On the right side, you get reduced cooldown of an attack by 1, and on the left side, you gain healing every turn by 10%. So you can see kind of what you're kind of trying to do here, which is kind of interesting. So yeah. So and then this is where it gets a little bit complicated as well, because you have this kind of like team assignment thing, and like this team is over on the mountain passage. So to use these characters here in the Southern Air Temple, I need to take them, like unassign them from the mountain passage and bring them over here. I'm not exactly sure like kind of what way that works in terms of like, does it mess up my progress at all, or should I just keep them here and then when I'm fully finished here move over to the Southern Air Temple? That's just a sense where like I just need to play the game a bit more, get a bit further in to get a sense for like, is it okay to do that or not? But you can see the idea of what we're kind of like doing here. You have these kind of areas where it's more like a little bit of a cutscene happens and you get dialogue. You have areas over here where you do battles. Puzzles I haven't really seen yet, but we'll see if there is anything associated with that as we go forward. So for instance, I think this will show us something. So if we press travel, you can see it's going to take 5 minutes to get down here. When I played this the first time, there was no like sense for that. Now if I click Ang, I think I can do, if you press skip, I can choose to pay nature stones to skip if I want to, but that just seems like a waste of stones, because obviously like it's only 5 minutes, so I can just spend that like grinding some materials or, you know, doing something else. So I think I'm gonna have to just wait a little bit to do the Southern Air Temple coming up next. So in that sense, like, you'd think that you absolutely blow through the story, but obviously you could see there, like, there's a whole section in the mountain passage where you're fighting like these people in these different dojos here in this completely unknown area, apart from it being in the Patola mountain range than we've seen before. If we go over to say like, you know, the South Pole, you can see Wolf Cove, very cool. Just that they have that name in there is cool. The South Sea is where most of the Zuko stuff is happening. So if I use the other team here, my Fire Nation team, you can see here we've arrived at the ship. We get our items. The group comes to a small rusty ship, the runt of the Fire Nation Navy. Welcome aboard. What happened? And then we go out to sea here. And again, I think this is going to take more travel time, is it? Travel. 5 minutes. So now both teams are in motion. Now, we're obviously at the area here. This is like Zhao's camp. But we were previously down here dealing with like pirates on the Zuko side of things, just before the events of episode 3 happened. You can see here Ketu Harbor. So they're naming different locations here, and it seems like in general that's kind of what they're doing. Like each episode, it's like another thing happens right before the events you remember from that episode. So we'll see how they keep that up going forward, going onwards. Again, trying to make kind of progress here. So you can see like I'm at the point probably in the game where like the game mechanics are slowing me down a little bit, but not like too badly. We'll see if that timer goes up. Like if that starts to go up and I have to suddenly wait hours between doing stuff, I'm not sure how I feel about that, especially if it's going to then like almost like force you to want to use the kind of skips tickets and stuff like that. But it's not too bad overall. But you can see it's a little bit weird, like in a way, why is that in the game? Like, why can't I just go down here without having to wait 5 minutes? And that's where it feels a little bit like it's literally just this timer is about one of the worst things I think I've seen in this game in terms of like I don't get it. It just seems like weird. Because I noticed this when you were playing like the earlier sections. You do the thing and you see the character walk like across the map, and it's like, okay, cool, they've animated it in there. But there was an oddly timer. Now it only took about 2 or 3 seconds previously, but now you see why the timer's in there is because there is actually like bigger timers overall. So there's that. This button down here, I think, just shows you the different items that you can get left on the island. So we're going to be able to get like some of the adventure token stuff and so on. So there's that. But I think that's like most of the main like details I want to kind of cover so far that like I've noticed so far in terms of playing the game. I've enjoyed it so far. I expected that basically this is exactly what it was going to be. The things that have sort of surprised me so far are sort of how much sort of like mechanics and like buffs, debuffs, and how many items you can assign to each character. Like, that's a lot. It does feel a little bit kind of overwhelming, but I think I'll get my head around it like eventually. So there's that. And then I think right now it just feels like, you know, I'm trying to figure out what the sort of like routine is with the game. Because obviously the idea, like according to like say this, is that you obviously want to log in regularly. So make sure you log in once a day to keep these streaks up, to get these kind of rarer items, including characters. And I think eventually you're going to get to the point where you're just going to do a little bit of materials grinding and progressing your story each time. But, you know, mobile games, they're not for everyone. But I'm liking it so far. I think I'm going to put time into this. Not a crazy amount of time, but like I said, I am enjoying what's going on here ultimately. So I think we should be just about there, yeah. So we've arrived. So we get some of this stuff. Ascension Incense, 30. This is good. And what's happening here? Battle, 60,000. So we'll just do this kind of one battle, I think, see what happens, and go from there. So that's where we're at. There's Aang and Appa in the ice. Very nice. Okay, Gonji Tao student uses all 3 Jings at once. Okay.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to do better than that.
You're gonna get it.
Not that. This will be easy. My turn.
Okay, we'll go Air Blast to start off with, which
I'll crush
deals with quite a lot.
Spinning Basherang! You're going down! Is that all you got?
I've got you.
Okay, Toph probably does need some healing.
I'm ready.
I'm not giving up.
Is that all
And then
you
I
got?
suppose while we're here, actually, we probably should talk about the idea of like, I do wish there was some other era stuff in the game already. Just even like a little bit of any other avatar I wish was in the game.
Roll your whole
Now I understand from a broader perspective of like who I think they're mainly targeting this game at. Just the general popularity of Avatar, which is mostly ATLA. I get why they've launched and are ATLA focused. They're hoping to use this as to get people more aware of what's happening, which is why I do think we will see stuff like adaptations of, like, say, the Kyoshi novels is what I'm guessing they might do for that event. So it's just, I would like to see them have some of that other stuff in there sooner rather than later, just because so far the like character variety that I've seen just from, you know, what I've seen in the store doesn't seem like, it's not as broad as I'd maybe expect, but maybe I've just missed, haven't seen certain banners and stuff like that. Maybe this early access version of the game is slightly different than what the one that will actually sort of launch with. I'm not really sure. But like I said, I'm definitely liking the game. And I've seen, like, every time this game gets mentioned online, you see people be like, oh, why is it a mobile game? Why are they launching with a mobile game? And this is where you have to remember that Avatar does have multiple video games in development. It is not just this mobile game. This isn't the only attempt at a video game. We know we're going to get that Avatar Quest for Balance game at some point in I think this year. And then I think we know there are other games in development as well. Sure, everyone wants their dream Avatar game that's like an MMO or completely open world or something like that. I do too. But we have to wait a bit to get there, I think.
Here to help. I'm with you.
And that should be the end of this battle.
We made it.
There we go. And that gets us, what's this? Book of Life. And yeah, like, just the amount of stuff where I feel like I'm just gonna have to spend like 20 minutes in the menus, like just putting my characters together. That's the way it kind of feels like, anyway. Okay, so that's that done, and then what we have 1, 2, 3 more fights to go, and I'll see if anything else happens, I guess. But I think I'm gonna wrap up the video there. So like that's a sense for how like a kind of session goes. Now, you know, you can just like, was that a good amount of progress for the video? You know, obviously I was explaining things as I went along. I wasn't as efficient as I perhaps like maybe could have been, but it gives you a sense for like, you're not gonna finish this game like really quickly or anything like that. But it is a little bit kind of like, whoa, it's taking quite a while to get through like early ATLA, just with the amount of sort of like monitoring of like stats that you need to do just to keep your characters kind of up to speed. But we'll see how it works as it kind of progresses, of course. So if you have any comments about the game, definitely leave them below. But otherwise, what were your thoughts on Avatar Generations? But that's been the video. Thanks for watching, and bye.